They weren't seasoned ghost hunters, just three friends with a fascination for the unknown. Mark, Jake, Alicia. A small paranormal team with a few local outings under their belt and a hunger for something real. One night they found it. The tip came from an obscure forum post, an estate just across the state line, boarded up, forgotten, and according to a single cryptic comment, "You'll know you're not alone, even if you are." The drive took them 2.5 hours. The sun had already begun to tip into the trees by the time they arrived. The house was worse than the photos. Weather-worn, sagging porch, covered in vines and leaning like it had held secrets too long. There were no neighbors, no nearby lights, no service, only woods and the long stretch of gravel they came in on. As they parked and stepped out, Jake thought he saw something move behind the upstairs window, a flicker, a shift of shape, but he shrugged it off. The light, the angle, his imagination. With gear in hand and nerves tightening, they entered. The house opened around them like a mouth. Massive, more sprawling than expected. Old wooden floors moaned beneath every step. Wallpaper peeled in long, brittle curls. Furniture remained, but covered in thick layers of dust and webs like forgotten artifacts. The air was heavy. Alicia grabbed Mark's arm. She had explored plenty of supposedly haunted sites, but this place watched back. They set 2 EVP recorders on the main floor, one near the front entrance, the other on a mantel in the sitting room, then began exploring the upper floor. Footsteps echoed differently than expected. Too many, too soft. A knock came from below, then another. But every time they rushed to check the staircase, nothing. The sun was gone now, not just set, vanished. The windows showed nothing but black, and their flashlights, fresh with batteries, began to flicker. "Mine's dying," Mark whispered. Alicia's light cut off entirely. The batteries had been drained. For minutes, they stood still, waiting for their eyes to adjust. No wind, no sound, just that feeling again. Watched. They decided to head back down, but the front door was locked from the inside. They hadn't touched it. More knocking. This time, the sound came from upstairs. Alicia refused to go back up. They made their way to the recorder near the mantel and pressed play. At first, nothing. Then, a voice, low, croaking. "I'm watching." They stared at each other, pale. This voice was not any of theirs. They played back the second device, again static. Then, "Who are you?" No one was speaking when these were recorded, and yet someone was answering. Jake turned toward the staircase and froze. At the top of the stairs stood a dark figure, motionless. No features, no light, just shape, watching. They didn't speak, they didn't film, they just ran. The front door opened this time. They didn't question how. They drove the full 2.5 hours back without saying a word. They never returned, never shared the audio. The only trace of this story appeared in a post to Let's Talk Forum Paranormal Board. which was deleted within minutes. The user never replied again. If the house is still standing, someone else will find it. Or maybe it will find someone else. Subscribe for more.